Marilyn here, your optimism guru, ready to spread a little daily cheer in your world. I came across a great article yesterday, and I just wanted to share one quote. You know, there's always that one tidbit, that morsel that just jumps out at you, and you just want to roll it around in your head all day long as you go through your day, and you just want to deepen your understanding of it and just see where it takes you. So today's quote that I really want to roll around together with is by Dan Sullivan. The brain can only find what it's looking for. Now, I love this quote for a number of reasons. Number one, there are always, the stories of people seeing things that they just couldn't comprehend, or seeing things that they thought were something other than what it actually was because they just couldn't comprehend what they were looking at. And maybe once they get to a point where they learn what they were looking at, then they see it completely differently. The brain actually sees things differently once it learns about them. And I'm no neuroscientist. I'm not particularly scientific to begin with. But it is fascinating to me the power of the brain over our understanding. And so this quote really speaks to me from that standpoint, just in the scientific truth that it holds, that the brain can only find what it's looking for, is a scientific truth. This isn't just one of these motivational rah-rah kind of quotes like, go find what you're looking for, or I don't know. I love it for the scientific backing that it holds. Flip side of that coin is from the motivational rah-rah kind of side, in that if you are seeking to accomplish a goal, you cannot just wish for it. You have to give it your focus. You have to be seeking after it. You have to expect that you will accomplish this goal. You have to have full expectation of success and looking for the clues in all places at all times that you will accomplish that goal. So the brain can only see what it's looking for, also can translate into this just, what do you want? How do you want to get there? How do you see it playing out in your head? What will this look like whenever you accomplish this goal? And then seeing the steps that it takes in order to reach it. And training your brain to continue on that mission, even when maybe your eyes are looking somewhere else. Your brain, once you have trained it to follow this goal, to follow this path that you have laid out, it will. So this quote by Dan Sullivan, just so cool to me on both sides of that spectrum, that I just had to share it with you. I'd love to know what goals you are seeking. I'd love to know what instances and examples of this kind of thinking and thought process and brain processing that you have. I mean, it's like whenever you start craving a new car and you've got the car picked out that you want, or as soon as you buy a new car and you start suddenly seeing that car, maybe even that exact color of the same car, the same model, the same everything on the road. You never saw them before, you never saw that vehicle on the road before, hardly at all. It was such an anomaly. But once you bought it, or once you decided you had to have it, you see them everywhere. You seek them out. Your brain zeroes in on them. It hones in on what you are thinking about and where your focus is. A funny example of this is whenever my husband and I had our first child, and his name is Morgan. He is a boy. Well, whenever my husband and I were married and we were talking about having children, he wanted to name his first son, assuming that we were going to have a son, Morgan. I said, that's a great name. I love it. You know, it can go both ways. There's Morgan Freeman, there's Morgan Fairchild. It's a win-win. I like it. Let's do it. So we never heard anybody call anyone Morgan. You know, those few examples from Celebrityville is all that we had. And yet I swear to you that we named Morgan Morgan, and every other crib in that nursery was a girl named Morgan. We had never heard it. We had never heard it used. And suddenly we name our child that, and we're seeing it all over the place. Now, poor child, you know, everyone assumes that whenever I call for an appointment or something for Morgan, they assume it's a girl. But you know what? Builds character. Builds character. He's a great Morgan, and he has no issues with his name. But this is just a funny example of how making a decision, seeking it out, and just owning that and seeing it in your brain makes you see it everywhere. So I want to know, what are you seeking? What goals are you seeking? What examples of this kind of thinking and kind of brain transition do you have in your own life? Whether it be looking for a parking place, looking for, driving past, say you need a chiropractor, and you've lived in this town for 20 years, and you've driven by this chiropractor's office for 20 years and never even noticed that it was there. But the moment that you have an appointment or are looking for it, you see it. You never saw this building before. You've never seen it. You've passed it hundreds, if not thousands of times, and you've never seen it. This stuff happens all of the time with restaurants, with businesses, with offices, you name it. When we are seeking things, that's when our brain clues in and finds it. So, I hope that you will mill this quote around in your head a little bit today. I hope that it will encourage you to seek after the things that you really desire, that you will give your brain the focus to seek it out, and the brain can only find what it's looking for. Thank you, Dan Sullivan, for that thought-provoking quote. Until I see you again, I hope that you are making it a great day.